Shabbat Shalom. Sorry for all the mishaps and technicalities going into this. Probably like Adon Zayev and his mishaps again. All praises to the Most High.
Hallelujah.
Before I get started, again, want to say Shabbat Shalom. Also giving respect to the leader of the congregation, Prince Yariel Ben Saskar, and also giving due respect to my teacher, Uziel Lewy, as well. Um, Sorry again for the technical issues. Not going to keep apologizing for that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to use that as a way to segue into this message. This Haftorah portion will be taken in the book of Hosea, starting at chapter 2. If you ever had a chance to, or still remember or brushed up on it, Hosea was the prophet who the Most High told him to go out to take a harlot wife. And that's something harsh. And what I normally do during my teachings is draw parallels and correlations from way back when to where we are now. For a prophet to go out and take a harlot wife, that speaks volumes of how the Most High has felt. In our habitual line steps and our habitual mistakes, we constantly put ourselves in a position where we didn't realize who our strength comes from, and we also neglected to give honor and respect to who our strength comes from. And like I said, just a background and synopsis, Hosea is the prophet who had to go and select himself a harlot wife and go up in front of Israel and speak. So when I said about the technical difficulties that I'm experiencing before I have to go up and do a portion, let's look at it in the eyes of Hosea. He has to go up and speak in front of the people, but he has a harlot wife. He has some errors and things he have to carry with him. But it's not the errors that you carry with you. It's how you go about doing the job the Most High sets you out to do and how you finish the job. And that's what the epitome of this is going to be. We have gotten so far away from the Most High, and we've put ourselves in a haughty position that we don't even consider. And that's the sad reality we're in. We're so divided that we don't consider. But I'm not going to hold us up. I'm going to go into this portion. I will stop alongst the way to emphasize on some things. And before I get started, may the Most High bless the meditation of my mind, the words in my mouth, that I don't go forth and lead anyone astray. And I appreciate you all for having me back on the platform. Hallelujah. This is taking place in Hosea, starting from chapter 2, verse 1. The number of people of Israel should be like that of the sands of the sea, which cannot be measured or counted. And instead of being told, "You are not my people," they should be called children of the living God. The people of Yehuda and the people of Israel should be assembled together and appointed one head over them, and they shall rise from the ground. For marvelous shall be the day of Yezreel. Oh, call your brothers my people, and your sisters lovingly accepted. Before I continue, this Hosea was a prophet who was prophesizing at a time where our kingdom was split into two factions. You had the northern and the southern kingdom. And he is a contemporary of Isaiah as well. So we're in the time when we are a split nation. So pretty much in today's time, we are a split nation. We have people praising the Most High over here a particular way. We have people over here during the holy convocations at a certain time that way. But the fact remains that we still all call upon the name of the Most High. But what this is saying is going to come a time where we're going to come together and we're going to do everything together. So the division and things that we have set forth with us today is nothing new. It's nothing different from days of the old when we were separated as a kingdom. But what this is saying and where it started out as is the Most High is going to bring us together under one rule and as one sovereign nation. Rebuke your mother, rebuke her, for she is not my wife, and I am not her husband. And let her put away her harlotry from her face, and her adultery from between her bosom. Else will I strip her naked, and leave her as the day she was born, and I will make her like a wilderness, render her like desert land, and let her die of thirst. I will also disown her children, for they are now a harlot's brood, and their mother has plagued the harlot. She that conceived them has acted shamelessly. Because she thought, I will go after my lovers who supplied my bread and my water, my wool and my linen and my oil and my drink. So the background I gave about Hosea taking a harlot wife, this is his wife. What these scriptures is telling us is the Most High looks at us as a harlotrous wife. I don't. Everyone's not married and everyone's not a man, so they don't have a wife. But I can tell you one thing that will hurt is that the love of your youth and the one that you cohabit with and become one with the Most High stepping out on you. That is a hurtful thing. That's how wars have been started. That's how blood has been shed. And if you think about it, our captivities led from harlotry. So in a respectful mind, wars and bloodshed have happened because of our harlotrous acts to the Most High. A harlot, that's a very stainful thing. So for the Most High, his select chosen children to look at us as playing a harlot, that says a lot about our character, going after these other various gods, chasing after them for no gain at all, none whatsoever. And he mentions is the line that I will cut your children off. Our abhorrent acts after other gods also puts a stain for our children in the generations to come. Where he says the lines, he will bless the generations of those who follow him and hate those to the face that hates him. Whenever we're not walking faithfully with the Most High, we are in that harlotrous act, we do set up disdain and barriers for the next generation or our children as well. So we also have to take that in mind. Not only our harlotrous acts affect us, but it affects the generations to come. That's why we're in this land of captivity today, because of our forefathers. Why do we constantly make history repeat itself? Assuredly, I will hedge up her roads with thorns and raise walls against her, and she shall not find her path. Pursue her lovers as she will, she shall not overtake them, and seek them as she may, she shall never find them. Then she will say, I will go and return to my first husband, for then I fare better than now. And she did not consider this. It was also I who bestowed her the new grain, the wine, and the oil, who lavished silver on her and gold, which they used for, and I'm not going to even say the name. So it comes to the point of time when we get into these, or we can even use it today. We get into the realm of Christianity. We get into these different nations, not going to put names on them. We get into soothsaying. We get into communicating with the ancestors. We become monks. We do all these different things, and we still see turmoil. We get into all these different things. We still have baggage that we can't relieve. We get into all these different things, and we don't get a blessing. Then when we go through the ringer, when all is said and done, we consider, you know what? I need to get back to the Most High because this ain't shaking too hot over here. But just like committing wicked and wrong, even though you return to God, that still doesn't come without judgment. We have to understand that the Most High is our source of life. The Most High is our protection. The Most High is our provider. We shouldn't have to risk, like our forefathers did, going after other gods to realize that came to no avail, only to return to the Most High just to hear this. Surely I will take back my new grain in its time, and my new wine in its season, and I will surely snatch away my wool, my linen, that served to cover her nakedness. Now I will cover her shame in the very sight of her lovers, and none shall save her from me. And I will end all her rejoicing, her festivals, her new moons and chateaus, all her festive seasons. So now we return unto him, but he take these things from us. He strips us. He makes us, he puts us out there. He makes us the example of, where's your God now? You followed your God, you walked away, you try to seek him out, you're still going to get the mock and ridicule. You're still going to get that judgment. For it's Yahweh who provides us all that we have. We don't realize that when we dibble and dabble into these different things, we think we raise up off our own strength and own might, and that's not how it works. The Most High is in control of all things. We the one who played the harlot. We the one who stepped out. How dare we just think we can come back to the previous husband and, oh, it's all good. So again, Hosea has to take himself the harlot wife. He has to go through these turmoils and all the different emotions. He has to have children with a harlot. He has to take the grunt. He has to take all the embarrassment, all the disrespect and embarrassment because he took the harlot wife. That's make how the Most High feels. He delivered us out of Mitzrayim with an outstretched hand and a strong arm. He delivered us. He gave us everything that we had. He protected us. He clothed us. He guided and blessed us. And what did we do? We left him to go after other gods. He feels that disrespect. He feels that disdain. He feels his name is disrespected, not just amongst us, but amongst the other nations. So when we're living in today, when he said I'm going to take away your chateaus, your new moons, I'm going to take away the spirit of praise from you. So what does that mean? While we're sitting here in today's time saying, "Oh, we don't keep this holy day. Oh, we don't do that. We don't." You just pretty much playing a harlot. You're supposed to rejoice in this. You're supposed to rejoice in the Most High. Take pride in your new moons. Take pride in your chateau. Take pride in what the Most High give you. I will lay waste her vines and her fig trees, which she thinks are a fee. She received them from her lovers. I will turn them into brushwood, and the beasts of the field shall devour them. Thus I will punish her for the days of the violin on which she brought her offerings, when decked with earrings, jewels. She will go after her lovers, forgetting me. We go all out. Israel go all out, boy. We see it in the Christian church, boy. You think they got a choir? They got everybody in the church singing all note. I'm like, I didn't even know the baby could talk. They go all out praising their God. And then what do? We give little lax energy. They deck themselves out. They get their JJ pieces. They go all out. That's how we was back in the day in our idolatry. Even in today's world, we'll go all out for the boss. Oh, I need you to work the Sabbath. Okay, boss. Yes, sir. Or, oh, I need you to do this. Okay, yes, sir. But your own brothers and sisters, you won't show no mercy or compassion for. We hate our own kind over $1, but forgive the next nation over 1,000 sins. We go all out in our idolatry, but we forget the Most High. And the only time we remember him is when these nations and these gods and all this other stuff we put our energy into come a naught, and then we try to run back to the Most High like it ain't gonna be no judgment, like he just gonna accept our heart, like we came off the street and he just gonna accept us. We gotta strip ourselves. He stripped us. He said he gonna strip us naked, and so our shame can be seen. Well, we gotta strip ourselves to show him that we shameful. I think I said this last time. We have no shame in what we do as a nation. Surely I will speak gently to her and lead her through the wilderness and speak to her tenderly. I will give her vineyards from there, in the valley of Acre, and a plowland of hope. There she will respond in the days of her youth, when she came up out of the land of Egypt. And in that, So we got to return back to where we came from, out of the land of Mitzrayim, Egypt, with that cry out to the Most High. We got to get ourselves back to there in our days of youth, when we were fresh and we were an oppressed people, and we had to get back to the Most High. We had a heart to want to follow and lead into his way. Where we at today in our captivity, we waking up across the board, but we got to give him our all. We got to turn away from our harlotous ways. We got to quit serving the Baalim, all these false gods. We got to quit giving our all into idolatry. We got to quit pouring our all into these nations and other people who don't give a red penny about us, and put all our hope and all our energy into serving the Most High. And then in return, treat one another the way he intended for us to do. And in that day, you will call me Ishi, and you will no more call me Baali. I think with the Ivri, Ishi is my husband, and Baalim is in a sense of like leader or husband, but he's making a separation. We will be speaking with a righteous tongue, our tongue, calling the Most High our husband, or accepting him in that husbandly role, and we as a nation becoming his wife again. So we're going to take the Baalim out and replace our tongue and our mind and our hearts with Ishi. That's my husband. And then he looked at us as a nation like, that's my wife. not the one who played the harlot, but the one who opened up into me, like in our youth when we came out of Mitzrayim. For I will remove the names of the Baalim from her mouth, and they shall never more be mentioned by name. That's another reason why we shouldn't go about mentioning the names of the gods today. In that day I will make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field and the birds of the air and the creeping things on the ground. I will also banish bow, sword, war from the land. Thus I will lie them down in safety. And I will espouse you forever. I will espouse you with righteousness and justice and with goodness and mercy, and I will espouse you with your faithfulness. Righteousness, justice, goodness, mercy, faithfulness. Those are the attributes we need to have with one another. That's how we get back to the Most High. It's not that he's more so upset that we hoard after other gods and played the harlot, but in that we mistreated one another. So not only did we disrespect God, but we disrespected and mistreated one another. What did he say? He said faithfulness. He said mercy, righteousness, justness, goodness. We have to display that with one another. It's going to be hard for us to return to him and return to our husband when, as a wife, as a nation, we have to get ourselves right. And that's on every level. We have to be that nation. We have to show compassion and love to one another. And we have to go all in with this, just like our brothers and sisters do when we came out of our idolatrous ways. May the Most High bless my words, the meditation of my mouth. Again, sorry for the technical difficulties, but at the ending, like how I am, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. With whatever role barriers or blocks or difficulties is in that you challenge, that you're faced with and you're challenged with along your journey, you have it in you to make it right at the end. And with us, we have to make it right with one another. That way we can return into the Most High and be his faithful wife again. With that being said, I pray the Most High bless everyone who hears my voice. That goes for those inside my home, those in the congregation, and amongst us in the congregation watching through television. Shabbat Shalom. I love you all and hope to do this again.